Have you ever walked onto a car lot feeling like today is finally the day you upgrade your ride, only to walk out 3 hours later wondering if you just signed your financial soul away for the next 7 years? Because if that's ever happened to you, you are far from alone. Today, the average American car payment is over $700 a month. $700 for a car you're going to drive exactly the same way your old one drove, but with way more stress attached to it. And that doesn't even include insurance, gas, maintenance, or the gut punch realization that the moment you drive that shiny thing off the lot, it loses a chunk of its value before you even hit the first traffic light. So today, I want to show you something that 99% of people never calculate: how much car your salary actually buys you. And warning, once you see the math, you'll never look at a dealership the same way again. Imagine you walk into a dealership making the median household income, about $75,000 a year. The salesman already knows exactly how to talk to you because he's been trained to sell based on monthly payment, not total price. So he sits you down at a little table with a plastic plant and a calculator that seems to always magically justify whatever he wants you to buy. He says something like, "Oh yeah, we can get you into this for $699 a month. Easy." Notice what he didn't say: the price, the interest, the depreciation, or what that payment means for your actual financial future. You're being sold a feeling, while committing to a multi-year contract that impacts every corner of your life. Now here's where things get shocking. There is a very simple rule called the April 20th, 10 rule. It says you should put 20% down, finance for no more than 4 years, and keep all transportation costs under 10% of your take-home pay. But almost nobody follows this. So let's break down exactly what most people actually do, and why it traps them. Let's say you make $75,000 a year. After taxes, depending on your state and situation, you're bringing home roughly $4,800 a month. 10% of that is about $480. That's your entire transportation budget: car payment, insurance, gas, maintenance, everything. But the average car payment alone is over $700. Insurance might be another $150 to $200. Gas might be $150. Maintenance, another $100. Suddenly you're at $1,100 a month, more than double what you can safely afford. And that is exactly why over half of Americans feel financially strained every single month. Let's zoom out for a second. I want you to picture two people, Sarah and Mike. Same age, same job, same salary. But one decision sets them on completely different financial paths. Sarah walks into the dealership and lets the salesman talk her into a $42,000 SUV. The payment is $685 a month for 72 months. She puts $1,500 down because the dealer convinced her that money is better in your pocket than in the car, which is true only if you're not financing the remaining money at 8% interest on a depreciating asset. But she signs anyway. Add her $175 insurance, $140 gas, $70 maintenance. She's spending over $1,000 a month. 1/6 of her entire take-home pay is now tied to her car. The worst part? After 3 years, her SUV is worth maybe $25,000. But she still owes $29,000. She's upside down, trapped. Every upgrade just digs the hole deeper. Now let's look at Mike. Same salary, but he buys a $12,000 used Corolla. Is it sexy? No. Does it do anything an SUV can't? Yeah, it doesn't destroy his wallet. He puts $3,000 down, finances $9,000 for 36 months, and pays around $270 a month. Insurance is $110. Gas is $90. Maintenance is $40. His total transportation cost is under $500 a month. He's following the 10% rule. And here's the wild part. That alone means he frees up an extra $500 plus per month compared to Sarah. If he invests that difference, just the savings from not buying the expensive car, at 7% annual return, After 10 years, he'll have over $85,000. After 20 years, over $250,000. All because of one car decision. Meanwhile, Sarah will go through 2 or 3 car cycles, lose tens of thousands to depreciation, interest, insurance, and opportunity cost. The car she drives literally determines the life she can afford. Most people assume their income determines their lifestyle. Wrong. It's their fixed monthly obligations that determine their lifestyle. And car payments are one of the biggest traps because they're normalized. If you have a $700 car payment, nobody bats an eye. But if you told someone you invested $700 a month, they'd treat you like a financial genius. The world has that backwards. Let's go deeper. Because the moment that dealerships don't want you to think about is this. Cars are the worst large purchase most people ever make. Not emotionally, financially. A typical new car loses around 20% of its value in the first year and about 60% after 5 years. Imagine buying a TV for $1,000 that becomes worth $400 in 5 years, but also costs you interest, insurance, gas, repairs, and taxes. You'd never buy that TV. But because cars are tied to identity, status, and comfort, we justify it. Dealerships and lenders understand human psychology. They know you're not making a $42,000 decision. You're making a $600 a month decision. So they stretch the loan to make it fit your emotions, not your math. A 48-month loan looks expensive. A 72-month loan looks affordable. But you pay thousands more in interest. And worse, you stay in debt for years longer. Here's an example. Same $30,000 car. At 5% interest, a 48-month payment is about $691. A 72-month payment is about $483. You save $208 a month, but pay an extra $2,700 over the life of the loan. And you're underwater longer because the car depreciates faster than you pay it off. Let's zoom back into your salary. A lot of people think the rule is, I make $80,000, so I can buy a $40,000 car. No, that rule was made up by someone who wanted to feel good. Here's the real math. Your take-home pay is what matters. Your transportation cost, car, insurance, fuel, maintenance, should be under 10%. Not 20%. Not 15%. 10. So if you take home $5,000 a month, your entire transportation budget is $500. If you take home $3,500, your budget is $350. And once you plug the actual numbers in, you realize something uncomfortable. Most people are driving a car they cannot afford. And because they can't afford it, they keep financing the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Because once your cash flow is squeezed, you never have enough money to buy a car in cash later. You get stuck in the loop. Let me show you what affordable actually looks like with real numbers. If your take-home pay is $4,000 per month, 10% is $400. Let's subtract basic unavoidable costs. Gas, $120. Insurance, $140. Maintenance, $40. That leaves $100 for a car payment. And here's where people freak out because $100 a month doesn't buy much. But that's the point. Your salary doesn't buy you a $35,000 car. Your salary buys you a $6,000 to $10,000 car. And that's not an insult. That's the truth that frees you. Because when you overpay for a car, you don't hurt your short-term lifestyle. You destroy your long-term wealth. Let me simplify the big picture. Every dollar you spend on a nicer car is a dollar you cannot invest. Every dollar you finance becomes $2 you lose, once in interest and once in lost investment opportunity. A $35,000 car financed for 72 months at 7% costs you about $41,000 total. That same $35,000 invested for 20 years? Over $130,000. That means the real cost of a car isn't $35,000. It's $170,000. A $12,000 used reliable car, on the other hand, costs maybe $15,000 total with ownership costs, and the $23,000 difference invested over the Same period becomes over $85,000. That gap determines who becomes financially free and who stays financially trapped. Think about how different Sarah and Mike's lives are after 10 years. Sarah bought 3 newish cars, always had a payment, paid thousands in depreciation, and is stressed every month. Mike still drives a reliable, paid-off car most years, has invested the difference, and has actual financial breathing room. Here's the part nobody wants to admit. A car is supposed to take you from point A to point B. It's not supposed to take your money from point A to point 0. And look, this is not don't buy a nice car. This is buy the nice car when your money is actually ready for it, not when the dealership wants you to. A car should not be your first big purchase. It should be your reward for building a foundation. If you're investing automatically, have savings, and your financial life is solid, then the car becomes a choice, not a burden. Here's the mindset shift. Instead of asking, what car can I get for $600 a month? Ask, how much money will $600 a month create if I invest it instead? Because that question is the one that changes everything. If you're in a bad car loan now, you don't need to panic. You need a plan. You can refinance if interest rates dropped. You can sell the car and buy something cheaper. You can make extra payments to get right side up. The point is not to judge yourself. The point is to set your future self free. On-screen flash. Calculate your car affordability. So let's do your math right now. Take your take-home pay. Multiply it by 0.10. Subtract your insurance estimate. Subtract your gas. Subtract maintenance. Whatever is left, that number is the car payment you can afford. If it's $150, then your salary buys you a $7,000 to $9,000 car. If it's $300, your salary buys you a $12,000 to $15,000 car. If it's $0 because your other expenses are too high, then your salary buys you the car you already have. And that's okay. The goal is not to impress people at red lights. The goal is to create freedom. Before we wrap, I want to leave you with this thought. The car you drive for 5 years affects the life you live for 30 years. Wealth is not about making more money. It's about avoiding the traps that steal your money. And cars, if you're not careful, are one of the biggest traps of all. Asterisk if this breakdown opened your eyes even a little. Hit the like button so YouTube pushes this to more people who need it. Subscribe if you want smarter money videos every single week. And drop a comment below telling me your current car payment. I read every one. Now, go run your numbers. And don't let a dealership decide your FUT asterisk.